Martin Sorrel. What a pleasure to have you in Italy. My first question is, are you happy with your team you set up here?
Well, we're at the beginning of the journey, so the answer is yes, but we've got to continue to grow. It's just the beginning. So to use a baseball analogy, we would be in the beginning of the first or second innings. To use a football analogy, which is probably more appropriate in Milan, I would say we're in the beginnings of the first half. So it's very early days. So good start. Maybe have scored 1 or 2 goals early in the first half. Long way to go.
We are all experience an extremely challenging time. I'd like to know what are your opinion in the current situation, but also your reflection about the future.
So it's a bit chaotic everywhere, and if we were having this conversation maybe 6 months ago, it would have been a very different conversation. If we were talking January the 1st, we wouldn't have had withdrawal of COVID stimulus. Quite rightly, government stimulated the economy because of COVID. We wouldn't have had high inflation. We wouldn't have had high interest rates. We wouldn't have had yet the war in Ukraine. We wouldn't have had Chinese lockdowns. So the world is a very, very difficult place at the minute. And I think it's to try and put it in some historical perspective, it's very different today. I think for Europe, it's going to be very tough. So I think France, Germany, Italy, Spain, the UK, even though the UK is out of Europe, which I regret, but we're out, going to be very difficult. So I think that's one set of issues geographically. The second is the importance and role of technology, which as a result of the war in mainland Europe over Ukraine, technology has become more important. Cyber and technology has moved up the agenda. So clients are going to have to think much more carefully about where growth comes from. They're going to have to look at things geographically, much more fragmented way than globally. And secondly, they're going to have to embrace technology even more rapidly.
Regarding Media Monks, what are your goals worldwide and also in our country?
Well, the major market, we're in 32 markets. We were in 33, and we pulled out of Russia because of the war. Those 32 markets, about 60% of our business, 65%, maybe a little bit more, is in North and South America. About 20% in EMEA, so Europe and the Middle East and Africa, and about 10% in Asia. Before the war, I would have said I'd like it to be 40-20-40. So Asia sort of rising and North and South America a little bit lower. I think as a result of the war, it's probably going to be more like 60-20-20. So North and South America becoming a little bit less relatively important, and Asia becoming a little bit more important, going from 10 to 20%, Europe, EMEA remaining the same. From a practice point of view, what we do, content is about 60% of our business, data and analytics and digital media are about 30%, and technology services 10%. I think it will go to about 50-20, 25-25. So technology services will become more and more important in the area. So we will be appealing to CIOs and CTOs as much as we appeal to chief marketing officers or chief sales officers.
And in Italy?
Same thing applies. I mean, I think we have to broaden our offer here. Our competition is at 3 levels. Our key competition probably is Accenture. And then the technology services companies like EPAM, Endava, ThoughtWorks, Perficient, C&IT. These are all listed companies that operate in technology services. That's one level. Second level would probably be the parts of the holding companies that specialize in digital, so Huge or RGA at IPG or VML or AKQA at WPP. And then specialists like Oliver in content or Jellyfish in digital media and data and analytics. So that's our 3 levels of competition. The first level, the consulting or the Accenture level, is probably the one where we go most head to head. Their issue is they come at it from the technology, moving towards the CMOs and CSOs. We come at it from the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah.
Giuseppe, can you give us a feedback of the last 8 months? How is the Media Monks model being received by your customers?
Well, all our clients reacted with a huge enthusiasm to the merge, and I have to say our guys as well. There is a huge enthusiasm inside the office, and this is amazing. The business model of the group counts now 9,000 people all around the world with amazing capabilities in data, digital media, creativity, production, technology. And all those capabilities are ready to be activated based on our client needs, also on our local client needs. This is an amazing opportunity for our clients, for our prospect, because we are a sort of a local interface that perfectly knows the local nuances, the nuances of our country, but with the power of a global network. This is very important.
Sir Martin, why did you want Miyagi?
Miyagi, and in fact all our merger partners, have met 4 criteria. One is they've grown rapidly, organic growth. Secondly, their margins have been strong. Thirdly, management ownership. The people who run the business own it. And then finally, not susceptible to technological change.
So, Giuseppe, where is communication going? And what kind of innovative business model does it need to be successful?
Well, I think that digital and content have never been so close, and they are evolving super fast. If you think to digital content, digital production, they are living a sort of new era. We are all talking about Web 3.0. And this evolution brings us to a new perspective that gives to our client and to us as well immense possibility. Content design, content production now need new capabilities that are different compared to the Web 2.0, for example. And in Media Monks, we are ready for this. As Sir Martin already said, we just activated a collaboration with Epic Games that, for example, in virtual production, gives us a huge advantage in this area that is very important now.
Sir Martin, how do you intend to move on and invest in the next future? In which direction?
Digital marketing transformation is key, and it's 3 functions: marketing, sales, and IT. We were talking to one of our largest clients here this afternoon, and several of our clients came in for a brief lunch. I mean, what comes out of that is how clients are trying to unify what they do in marketing, sales, and IT.
Giuseppe, winning creativity, what does it mean for you today?
This is a good question. I think today winning creativity is the one able to touch your soul in less than 7 seconds and grab your attention long enough to generate actions after emotions. And this has to happen in the real world, but today we have to consider also the virtual world. So if we are able, with creativity, to generate emotions and actions also in the virtual world, we will win for sure. This is, I think, the very strong challenge for creativity today.
So, Giuseppe said 7 seconds. I remember before Miyagi, we had a piece of data from Facebook which said that women on average spent 1.7 seconds on a post, okay? And out of that came from Media Monks a campaign for L'Oreal called Unbelievabrow for eyebrow makeup, which was 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah. So it's to try and get an emotional connection within 2 seconds. See, this is something the industry doesn't really respond to. The traditionalists in the industry tend to look back to the days of Don Draper and through rose-tinted spectacles and think that creativity, they think that data is the enemy of creativity. I don't think so. David Ogilvy, in addition to being an Aga cooker salesman before he started Ogilvy Agency, was at Gallup. And he understood the importance of data. And he started Ogilvy Direct, which was about email, before emails, it was about mail, sending communications by mail. And that's the earliest forms, or one of the earliest forms, of one-to-one communication, which we do personalization at scale. When we do a campaign for Netflix, we might produce 1.6 million different executions. We might only use 50 to 70,000, but we know you're interested in Juventus or whoever it is. We know you interested in soccer, so we serve you a piece of content. Soccer. We know you look at wallstreetjournal.com or whatever it happens to be. We know you're interested in business. We serve you a piece of content relating the film series Narcos or whatever to business. So we test. That's why it's an iterative model, which is really interesting.
Thanks a lot. Come again to Italy. We are here to listen to you.
I'm glad you understood my English.